Good morning. We are going to see today an experiment in pathology and microbiology laboratory. We are going to determine the susceptibility of a microbial species against different antibiotic agents. The main aim is to this test. What we are going to do will be determining the susceptibility of a microorganial species against different antibiotic agents. The test we are going to make use is called as antibiotic susceptibility test. So the theory that is going to be involved here is we have to introduce the various antimicrobials for treating a variety of infections. That will be shown the necessity of performing this antimicrobial susceptibility test, which has to be performed as a routine procedure in all the microbiology laboratories. In laboratories, it can be made available by using a antibiotic disc, which will slowly diffuse into the medium where the suspected organisms are generally grown. Here, the basic principle is used. This basic principle of antibiotic susceptibility testing is being used in microbiology laboratories for over 80 years now. Here, what we are going to use is various chemical agents like antiseptic, disinfectants, antibiotics. These are all used to combat with the microbial growth. Among this, we have antibiotics, which are generally defined as a substance which is produced by the organisms such as penicillin, which will be having the ability to either kill or inhibit the growth of other microorganisms, mainly that is bacteria. An antimicrobial susceptibility test, which in short they call it as AST in a microbiological lab, will basically measure what is the ability of an antibiotic or other antimicrobial agent to inhibit the vitro microbial growth. It is called IMG, which is in vitro microbial growth. So here there is a procedure. In this procedure, we'll have to make use of Muller-Hinton agar. Muller-Hinton agar is one type of agar which is considered as one of the best routine susceptibility testing, since it has a batch to batch reproducibility and it has low concentration of inhibitors of sulfonamide, trimethoprim, tetracycline, and it will be producing a satisfactory result for most of the non-fastidious pathogens. Fastidious organisms will be requiring a specific growth supplement based upon the different media to grow for studying the susceptibility pattern. There is one other test that is being used. It is called as Kirby-Bauer test, which is a qualitative specific growth supplement, whereby discs of filter paper are impregnated with a single concentration of different antibiotics or any chemicals that will diffuse from the disc into the agar. The selected antibiotic disc are placed on the surface of an agar plate, which will be already been inoculated with test bacteria. During the incubation period, the antibiotics or the chemical will be diffused outwards from the disc into the agar. So when this is done, this will create a concentration gradient in the agar, which will be depending upon what is the solubility of the chemical and what is the molecular size. So the absence of growth of microorganism around the antibiotic disc will start indicating that the respective organism is susceptible to that particular antibiotic, and the presence of growth around the antibiotic disc will indicate that the organism is resistant to that particular antibiotic. I'll repeat, if there is not going to be any growth of organism around the antibiotic disc, it will indicate that the respected organism is susceptible to the antibiotic, and the presence of growth around the antibiotic disc indicates the organism is resistant to that particular antibiotic. The area where there is going to be no growth around the disc is called as zone of incubation. The area where there is going to be no growth around the disc is called as zone of incubation, which is usually uniformly circular with confluent law of growth in the media, which is uniformly circular with the confluent law of growth in the media. The diameters of the zone of incubation are measured, including the disc, using a metric scale or using a sliding caliper. The measured zone diameter can be compared with the standard chart that will be available in the lab for obtaining what is the susceptible and the resistance value of this particular organism. There are zones of intermediate resistance, which means that the antibiotic may be sufficient enough to eradicate the organism from the body. There are various factors that will be affecting the antibiotic susceptibility testing. Many conditions can affect the accuracy of this test. So one point in that is the pH value. The pH of the medium what we are going to use is an important factor which will influence the accuracy of the antibiotic susceptibility testing. If the pH of the medium is too low, then the desired pH, certain drugs such as aminoglycosides, quinolones and macrolides loses their potency. On the other hand, there will be antibiotic classes such as tetracyclinines which will be appearing to have excessive activity to a lower pH value, and the same will happen vice versa in the case if it is going to have a higher pH value. I repeat, antibiotic classes, especially a tetracycline, will represent to have excessive activity at lower pH, or vice versa will happen at the case of higher pH. The next factor to be considered is moisture. The presence of moisture content, if it is there in the medium, can counteract with the accuracy of the susceptibility testing, and it is important to remove the excess moisture that will be present in the agar surface by keeping it in a laminar flow hood for a few minutes. Effect of the medium component. The third point to be considered is effects of the medium component. If the medium what we are going to select for this antibiotic susceptibility test is going to contain excessive amount of thymine or thymide components, what they will do is they will reversibly inhibit the action of certain antimicrobial agents such as trimethoprim groups. What this will do is this reversible inhibition will yield smaller or less distinct or even no zone, and it will give a misinterpreted as a resistant antibiotic. There will be a misinterruption that will be receiving as it is the particular organism is resistant antibiotic. MHA is going to be low in thymine and thymide contents, and it can be used successfully to study what is going to be the susceptibility of the antibiotics. Also, when we are going to make use of a medium which is going to contain excessive cation, it will be reducing the zone size, while low cation content results in unacceptable large inhibition zones. Then it also, the factor to be considered is the amount of organism. The amount of organism that we are going to make use for studying this susceptibility test is standardized using a turbidity standard. So this has to be obtained by a visual approximation which is using McFarland standard of 0.5, or it can be determined by using a spectrophotometer with optical density having a range of 1 to 600 nanometer wavelength. So the next condition in that is the antibiotic concentration for the susceptibility testing should be predetermined. For predetermining it, it is already available commercially with a predetermined value, so that can be used. The amount of organism is the main thing that will be affecting the susceptibility test. So we have seen 4 factors, and all these 4 factors has to be considered with more importance, because if these four factors are not considered properly, then the result obtained may not be of a proper value. So by using this experiment, we can see how a microbial species has susceptibility to different kind of antibiotic agent. So the test we have used here is an antibiotic susceptibility test. So with this experiment completes. Thank you for listening.